Hello, Sage here. Welcome to News Beyond the Markets, a special show that will get you all the news that matters to kickstart your day. So let us get started with today's show. And first up on News Beyond the Markets are concerning updates on the rapid spread of the Delta variant in the country. And the Australian authorities have extended the lockdown in Sydney by at least 14 days. The move comes after 3 weeks of initial restrictions, failing to stamp out an outbreak of COVID-19. And the New South Wales State Premier Gladys Berejiklian said that restrictions would need to remain in place until at least July 30th. There are 97 new locally transmitted cases reported today, which is a slight increase in daily infections from a day earlier of the 97 new cases, and 24 people were infectious in the community. And as per the authorities, the lockdown that has been in place since June 26th will only be lifted when the number of newly reported cases were close to zero, and total infections now stand at just under 900. Sadly, 2 deaths have been reported this year. It is concerning to see that the virus appears to have spread to parts of the city that were previously unaffected, and the outbreak has now spread to regional areas and has started to pressure health services as well. There are reports of long queues for COVID-19 tests in Fairfield, and this is due to new health orders which require people who leave the suburb for work to be tested regularly. And moving on to the good news for the Australians, you can now order electronic prescriptions or e-prescriptions from your local pharmacy via WhatsApp. The leading cloud communications platform, Twilio Inc, announced that Fred IT is using its Programmable Messaging API to provide electronic prescriptions to millions of Australians, and Fred IT is Australia's largest dedicated pharmacy IT solutions provider. E-prescriptions allows patients who have registered for MyScript list to order their prescriptions with their local pharmacy via WhatsApp. And now this innovation makes it easier for patients to manage their e-prescriptions. It is also a safer alternative for healthcare professionals and patients during the ongoing pandemic. Prior to the pandemic, Fred IT service ERX Script Exchange was already being used by thousands of Australian doctors and pharmacists. And MyScript List will work alongside the existing token workflows to provide patients with flexibility in how they digitally access their medications. So on that note, it is time for a short break, and on the other side of the break we'll talk about Apple's latest move in the booming buy now, pay later or BNPL sector, so please stay tuned.
Hi, this is Andy Liu broadcasting from Kalkine Media Studio in Australia, and I'll be hosting the new Kalkine Wellness Show. The half-hour show will cover topics from how wellness as a concept has become even more significant during COVID, to how becoming vegan may improve your health, and much more. We are excited to showcase our live streaming show to our audience of millions overseas and in Australia. Tune in to Kalkine TV and join me.
Welcome back, viewers. Thank you for joining us, and I'm Sage. You're watching News Beyond the Markets by Kalkine TV. And now here's an update coming from Apple Inc. that has shaken the BNPL sector. According to the media reports, Apple is working on a service that will let users pay for any Apple Pay purchase in instalments, and Apple will use its existing partner, Goldman Sachs, for the Apple Card as the lender for the loans. The news of Apple entering the BNPL segment shook big BNPL players like Afterpay, whose shares fell close to 10%. And Zipco Limited and Sezzle also fell sharply in trade today. The BNPL industry has boomed over the past year due to a pandemic-driven surge in online shopping. The BNPL boom has also attracted the attention of mainstream firms such as PayPal Holdings Inc., with Apple Pay users allowed now to split their payments into 4 interest-free instalments or across several months with interest. The potential offering will rival similar services by Klarna, Afterpay, Zip's QuadPay and Affirm in the United States. And moving on now to another good news for all the health freaks in Australia. Australians will now be able to purchase the Bike and Bike Plus by Peloton, alongside a fitness app for a variety of workouts. And cult fitness brand Peloton has officially launched in Australia today. While being mostly known for their spin bikes, Peloton also offers subscription services with classes ranging from yoga to HIIT and even weights classes. With Peloton launching in Australia, it becomes the 5th country to have access to the the at-home workouts, and the Peloton bike is priced at $2,895, while the Bike Plus has a price tag of $3,695. The monthly membership for unlimited virtual classes is $59, while app access costs $16.99 after a 90-day free trial period. So with more such innovations coming home, we should have no reasons for running away from workouts in order to stay fit. And moving on to the next update on the news that matters. The Australian government has taken a step ahead in providing additional financial support during the lockdown, and the federal government has announced that from the fourth week of the lockdown, people who lose more than 20 hours of work per week will get a payment of $600 under the COVID-19 disaster payment scheme. And people are already getting $500 after the first 7 days of the lockdown. Apart from this, a new JobKeeper style support for businesses has also been revealed, and people who suffer a 30% decline in turnover will receive payments of between $1,500 and $10,000 per week. This is for businesses with an annual turnover between $75,000 and $50 million. Now that comes as a sigh of relief for businesses surely all over New South Wales and individuals hit from the current lockdown. And now it's time for another short break, and please stay tuned on Kalkine TV.
Tune in to get the latest information.
Whether it's about market movements or the currency graph,
Sectoral coverage or industry news.
we cover it all on our news segments.
Be on top of the latest news
With Kalkine TV.
Welcome back, viewers. Hope your afternoon is going as planned. This is Sage, and welcome to the news beyond the markets. In the last 2 decades, we have transitioned from a traditional to a digital economy, and be it payments or shopping, and even now working in times of the pandemic at home, this transition had also made art digital, as suggested by the new research released by the Australia Council for the Arts, centred around engagement patterns with the arts using digital technology. Let's see what this means for the cultural sector now and into the future. Well, the digital engagement in arts has been rapidly increasing over the last few years, and it got accelerated with the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. And mapping digital cultural engagement provides timely insights into how audiences use digital technology to engage with the arts. The Sydney Opera House's digital season, the Melbourne Digital Concert Hall and the Darwin Aboriginal Art Fair stands as beacons of how creative workers and institutions have adapted to present their work to audiences during pandemic restrictions. The rapid digital shift poses significant policy and commercial challenges, and the Australian Council CEO Adrian Collette AM said that the country now has literally at its fingertips almost infinite possibilities to discover, connect, engage and create culture online. Well, there is an increasing need from creating sustainable business models to ensuring all Australians, particularly those with a disability, older Australians and those in regional and remote communities, can access and benefit from creative participation, said the Australian Council CEO Adrian Collette. In partnership with the National Arts Council of Singapore, Australian Council for the Arts conducted the research, and the research will inform both councils' research and strategies. The research study will add to the Australia Council's growing body of work on digital engagement, including the Audience Outlook Monitor research, tracking audience sentiment and behaviour through the COVID-19 pandemic, and previous research on professional artists, arts participation, blockchain and music exports. So audience expectations now often include the ability to insert oneself into the story, an artwork or an art experience, access to multiple lines of communication with performance audience members and other participants. For many people, experiencing art simultaneously with others and watching events unfold in real time is the real deal, and it is no longer just about in-person attendance. So audience expectations on access to arts and culture at minimal cost is growing significantly, and new business models and consideration of copyright are required to secure remuneration for artists and creatives. A change for better or worse, we don't know, but through digital art, your reach is universal and the engagement community will grow stronger, focusing on the positive The Arts Going Digital Forum was also held on July 12th. And on that note, it's now time to wrap up the show. Thanks for joining us, and hopefully that was informative and entertaining for you. Stay tuned for more live market updates and news. For the day on Kalkine TV, Sage signing off.